It's not that often that you see a Slogurk deck in Standard, and I'm pretty happy to showcase this, created by a viewer of mine, Diego. And this deck was pretty impressive. There were some, flaws to the deck, the mana base mostly. I'll talk about that later. But seeing Slogurk actually thrive in Standard is actually pretty fun. It kind of changes the pace from like the traditional Rafine type of, win con. And this card has some pretty cool intricacies to it. So it's a 3 mana 3/3 with trample and the Simic colors. And whenever a land enters the graveyard from is put into your graveyard from anywhere, put a +1/+1 counter on it. You can also remove 3 +1/+1 counters from Slogger to return it to your hand at instant speed. So that's reactable. That's really good. And when it leaves the battlefield, return up to 3 target lands from your graveyard to your hand. So this ability is really important. It's really important, one, because we have self-mill, as I mentioned, and two, because this ability leverages channel lands to the utmost, right? So channel lands, you can use them as spells, quote unquote, and then they go in the graveyard, obviously. And essentially, you basically have them permanently as well. You either have a huge Slogger on the field, or if your Slogger leaves the battlefield, you get them back. So you have your pretty much a recurring source of spells from your graveyard that will always reliably come back for the most part when you need them. And they all have effects that are pretty impactful. You have the return, you have the bounce effect, you have the you have the mill, which is also relevant with Slogger, so that's another thing. And then return, so you can return Slogger as well, or other creatures if you want to. Essentially, you have infinite amount of Slogger as long as it doesn't get exiled, or even if they try to exile it, if you have 3 +1/+1 counters, you can dodge that. So that's really important as well. That has self protection. And the Boseiju, which is actually incredible in this meta, able to destroy enchantments, artifacts, or those pesky creature lands. So all of these channel lands are so good, and you're able to leverage them even more with the Slogurk, which also gains counters from them when you channel them. So that's really, really good synergy there, and that makes for a really powerful deck in theory, right? With the self mill as well, potentially milling those lands when you have Slogurk on the field, making it grow faster, also really good. Another key aspect of this deck is the invasion that also self mills, also gives you card advantage. So this deck has a ton of card advantage, as you might be able to see here. Discards a card from your opponent's hand, you draw a card, and both players mill, so you can mill some lands when you have Slugger in the field. Also able to bring creatures, well, copy a creature from the graveyard, so you can also theoretically copy the Slogger from the graveyard as well. So there's that, but yeah, you get a 4/4 on top of that, so it's also good. So it's higher base stats than Slogger, also relevant. You can also copy the Gruff Triplets if you're really lucky. There is another card to note. Let me see if I can find it. Yes, there's also the threefold Thunder Hulk instead of the Gruff Triplets if you want to go that route. I'm kind of on the fence about this card over the Gruff Triplets. One, because Gruff Triplets is cheaper, so if you want to hard cast, it's way better to cast the triplets. And two, because of trample specifically. I feel like trample is really relevant in this metagame, or in just in general, if you want to, get a bunch of 4/4s with trample, and then if one of them gets removed, you get 8/8s, which is relevant, instead of getting a 7/7, I think, and then 7/1/1s, which is pretty good. And then the one thing about this card is that when it attacks, it also makes more 1/1s. So you have a recurring source of board presence. So it's kind of like if your opponent's not playing much removal or any sweepers at all. Well, I guess the Gruff Triplets also lose the sweeper, but if your opponent's not playing much spot removal that can target this, you'll be ahead in the game permanently, basically. But I feel like Gruff Triplets also does that. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about that. If you want to play Thunderhawk, go ahead. I think I prefer the Gruff Triplets from what I theorize. Next, I guess let's just jump straight into the mana because the rest is pretty standard, right? We got Dread Knight for card advantage. That thing's broken. But yeah, the mana base is probably this deck's only flaw, and that's where the source of your losses usually comes from, I would say, because the deck can hold its own against pretty much anything. And the problem is you have a lot of tap lands. You have issues with like colored mana, so there's no Triome in Sultai. That's a huge downside when you're trying to cast like actual three. You're playing a 3-color deck, right? That's a problem, especially in a sideboard. A lot of double green, and that creates problem when you have to change the mana count. So essentially, you look at this mana base, and there's nothing that can be swapped out for another land. I already tried. I wanted more Restless Reef because this card is absolutely insane with Slogurk, but you cannot play it unless you cut a shore. And the problem with that is this is the only fast land in the deck. So if you cut this fast land, you have even more tap lands, and that makes your early game even worse, especially a black untap land, which can cast cut down. It's really, really difficult to justify that and play another creature land, right? Specifically because, you know, the power level of this card is insane, so it is maybe worth considering, but I value the untap land early over the potential power of this crazy land. Instead, you have to play more of these Restless Vine Stalks, which are also good, but unfortunately cost one more mana to activate than the Cottage or the Reef, so you're not going to be attacking the invasion on turn 5 as consistently here. But the problem is you really need those blue sources as well, so I can't play Restless Cottage instead of a Vine Stalk. It's just you would have to cut like a Gallade or a Waste to play a Cottage, which is also iffy because we already have 6 man lands, right? So it's really hard to figure out what to do. Actually, you might be able to do this. So I think if you cut this, add a Cascade, cut this, and then add a Cottage, it kind of evens out. You could do that, actually. I didn't realize you could do that. So yeah, you could. This is probably correct. Think that works? Yeah. Yeah, you should do that, actually. That makes sense. So just replace this Glade with a Cottage. I guess I was too focused on the blue-black lands. I didn't realize I could just swap that. Okay, anyways. So you can do that 100%. But the Vine Stalk is still really good. The Vine Stalk's really good because it has Trample. And Trample's really good. There's not much else to say about that. The Cottage is just nice because it's a 4/4 attacks, you know, exile a graveyard, exile a card from a graveyard, make it a food token. But yeah, the problem with this deck is sometimes you're going to draw the channel lands and you're going to be missing a color. And because there's so many single color lands, right, and no Triome, sometimes you're just gonna draw, you know, black, green, no blue, and then you can't cast this, can't cast this, can't cast this, can't cast this. Sometimes you're gonna draw blue, green, and no black, and then you're actually screwed. That's less likely, but still can happen. So yeah, that's gonna happen. But if everything goes well, this deck is incredibly powerful and, you know, a lot of fun to play, honestly. The sideboard is just here to kind of, you know, fix all the problems that you might have with the main deck, specifically not being able to target enchantments and artifacts, which we really don't have much except for Boseiju, so you really want those tears and the Feralbacks. A lot of ways to interact. A lot more counter magic because this deck doesn't have that many counter spells. Only 5. That can be trouble against, you know, the ramp decks. They will eventually resolve something because this deck is not fast. And then we've got the Red and Realmbreaker, which is there for control matchups. Since this deck only relies on a few creatures, like mostly Slogurk really and Shield Red, there aren't that many threats if you think about it, and you really are afraid of like things getting exiled, and control decks have a lot of exile, so you really want something that is not a creature that can also put pressure on your opponent. Also, this mills, so pretty good with Slogurk. Then we got the Bailiff, which is really good against decks that do have source of discard, like Lily, Trespasser, and also, obviously, you want this card against mono red. So there's that as well. Also, very good against other players of Invasion. Since this discards card, you get a 4/4 right on the battlefield. And if you have your own, you'll be able to attack it immediately. So that's pretty good. Really relevant. Should definitely play this card. And Path of Peril is obvious because you need more sweepers against aggro. Black decks have some issues sometimes with like people going too wide. Like you have a good 1-for-1s, but your sweepers are not fantastic, and this is the best thing you can play pretty much. So definitely have to play it. Shield Red's Edict is good, but you can play anything instead of this. I'm just playing it because it interacts with Planeswalkers. Not super relevant. Just there there might be some other cases where this is good, but I don't know. I don't see myself playing another Go for the Throat. I think you could get away with playing like Infernal Grasp or like, you know, 2-mana exile creature that costs 3 or less, but that's up to you. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna do it for the breakdown. And yeah, enjoy the gameplay. Jesus. Yeah, that's a mistake, but everything else is fine. Like this is fine. Anyways, we might play that eventually. Because I have the cards for that. Let's just play this though. Okay, I've actually never played a Slogurk deck, so I need to get used to maybe channeling this then. Channeling these. What does this do exactly? Whenever a land is put in the graveyard. Remove 3 counters, put it back in your hand. What the? I'm getting milled. Why is it that when you mention a mill deck, you immediately face a mill deck? Is that normal? They're listening to me. Wait, self-mill? Oh god. Oh, they're reanimating. Okay, well that sucks. Because I'm on the draw. But maybe I can get them with the invasion flip with Slogurk. Yeah, Esper is probably better. There's almost no reason to be in blue-white when you're trying... Like, the mana's perfect in blue in Esper. So you might as well leverage the extra color, because you're not looking to, like... You're not looking to develop early, you're looking more so to, like, stabilize. So you just play a bunch of interaction. Oh, God. What? They actually hit the nuts. And they hit my shield red. Like, the fact that they hit shield red as well is probably not good for me. Ah. I didn't hit my counter magic. Well, I did, but I was on the draw, so... I don't think it matters too much. I mean, it's not horrible. I did draw, like, what I needed there. And I am gonna get... nothing. Which is amazing. They got both the cards out the graveyard. Like, come on. I'm gonna get my own shield red, I guess. Oh, no, wait. I can kill it. And then bring it back. Oh, they don't have basics. They don't have basics. I am dying. I did not realize I was dying. So I should have killed my... Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, if they didn't hit shield red. Oh my god. Oh wait, I can get their Titan. Okay, wait. But I'm still drawing a card. That sucks. Oh wait, no, I can... Oh no, I can still kill my shield and get their Titan. I think that's good enough, yeah. Oh yeah, that's fine, that's fine. This is actually a game of Hearthstone. What the... We're playing... I didn't mill any lands. Like, come on, this is tragic. Thankfully, their deck sucks, I think. Actually, I don't know. Atraxa? Oh! Wait, but that's worse than... That's worse. That's worse. That's worse. I need Titan. I lose the game with that. Oh god, this has to go. Holy. This deck is a nightmare. Okay, Counter magic's up. But what am I doing though? What is the... What am I doing exactly? Like... I think I attack, right? 3 lands. They get 2 back. I can screw them over again and bounce as well. Oh, no, I can't screw them over. Hmm. I mean, I can screw them over. I can do it. I mean, I do want to bounce this. It's so annoying. But also, I don't have to bounce. I can just... Okay, never mind. I should do that. I should make this play. It's just better. I have to take 1 damage or whatever. I just hold up, make the spear. Then I have Urtai hold up, make the spear, which is pretty much the same as bouncing this. Does give them a card, but doesn't matter when they're wrecked. I can bounce Titan for another chance to copy. Why would I do that in that position? All right, I have two graveyard exiles. Yay. Now, any blue deck just annihilates this, I think. Any deck with any graveyard hate, you just win. Problem is, I don't have many of those. And this does not counter anything, because this costs 3 mana. Yikes. Oh, Terra Sunder, though. That's good. This is horrible. This is like, this deck is not built to beat like Omega high roll decks like that. Horrifying. Okay, well. Also, yeah, probably I'll try Thunderhulk over this, I think. What do you think about it? There you go. 7 1/1s and a 7/7 or 3 4/4s with trample. I think 3 4/4s with trample is actually better. Never mind, I don't know. Don't ask me, this is not my deck. Trespasser, I mean, doesn't seem that useful. I think you'd rather play like actually maybe, I don't know, maybe you'd play a Trespasser too, actually. I don't know. It does screw with your invasion a little bit, which is... I'm feeding their own mill plan though, which sucks. Maybe I cut invasion. No, I can't. What am I cutting? Surely it's this. Like, it's just a joke, yeah. Command. Ren. I guess Ren is not that good. Yeah, I'd probably just want more removal. Thunderhole gets you 7 1s on attack. That's true. That is true. I don't know. They're both horrible against sweepers, so... But the thing is, if any deck has a removal for Thunderhulk, you'd rather have 2 8/8s, right? Than 7 1/1s, correct? So I think it's worse. I have my feral bag. It's the problem is their reanimation costs 3, and even if it did cost 4, I would not be able to get this out in time. So, oh, but I have the tech. I have the tech. Why would you not play a basic in that deck? Like, you have to know that land destruction is like literally game over for you. And you don't need that many colors. Like, oh god. Goodness. Wait, that's only each creature. Oh, I thought it was permanents. Okay, that's not that good. Okay. It does mill, though. No. They got me. But I have one more turn. I'm buying myself time. I'm buying myself time. Should I? It doesn't matter if I mill or... Oh, it does matter if I mill. Oh. Actually, it doesn't matter if I mill. I wish I could do it after they cast that. Then. I should probably not cast this, right? I think it does matter because... I actually don't know. I don't know. I felt like it mattered, but I'm not sure. Because I could... Basically, my thought process is if they do reanimate, I want to go for throw and then throw back. That was like the... But I don't know if it's better than just casting this. Guess we'll find out. Tally, what do they get? Oh my god. What? This is like the luckiest player in the world. If they just had basics, they would beat me every time. How'd they hit? Like, that's another reason to not mill, I guess, is to stop them from potentially getting a tally just like they did in game 1. I just I like it. It's that's the... What? How can you be that lucky? Like, twice? No. I'm mad. Oh, what? Yeah, that reanimation card's good, but the fact that it gets countered by any form of... The thing is, not many people are playing Graveyard Hate that's actually that good. So, I don't know. Oh, you just saw this deck on ladder? Maybe somebody popularized it. They can burn in hell, honestly, because this is not what we want in standard. This is bringing me back to Tybalt's Trickery. How the hell did I just mill no lands? But whatever. Tybalt's Trickery is really something. I think Tybalt's Trickery was worse than this, obviously, because there's no counterplay, but every time, it's in the graveyard. Every time. How? Every time they have double gaze. Every time. Yeah, just how do they get the right side of their deck every time? Because they could just draw a bunch of 7-drops, right? They kept a 7, right? Again, they kept 7-card hand. How do they just not draw the 8 and 7 drop? If I'm playing the deck, that's exactly what would happen to me. So I don't get it. I don't understand. Oh, I do have Graveyard Hit with this too, but not relevant though. I mean, I can't mill them because it feeds into triggering me. I'm getting triggered. Please don't. Please just don't. No, they hit 4 permanents. God damn. It's like just at least mill the sorceries, you know. I guess they only have these as instance. I'm triggered. They of course they have it in hand, right? And of course they're gonna do this, and then it's gonna hit again. Oh, you've seen this list for a while? I've never played against it. Like, imagine having a hearse here. Like, how easy this matchup would be. Literally 0% win rate for them if I have hearse. Or anything that... Like, Cauldron, same thing, 0%. Every game, man! Every game! Every fucking game! How? Like, if they don't hit a tally, it's actually okay. But they always get a tally, so I'm always miles behind. And they always hit a good card on my they never hit, like, random... They always hit a good spell, and I just milled 0 lands. 0 lands. I milled 0 lands, by the way. So I don't even get any... This is, like, tragic. I'm getting unlucky, and they're getting lucky. Please, please tell me I win this game still, please. I'm begging you. Please. I'm triggered. I'm triggered that I milled, and I get the worst mill ever, and every time they mill, it's like jackpot. 4 permanents, Italy every time. Okay. Hold. Hold. Hold on to your seatbelts. They might still lose. Because I had a graveyard. Let's see how good graveyard interaction is. This will prove the point, right? Let's see. How good is one exile your entire graveyard? Is it gonna win me this game from a position that's like unwinnable? It might. It might do it. Oh wait, I could have just no. I got triggered there for a second, but they just fold the egg. They fold the graveyard exile, so whatever. At least okay, the Itali was not Giga Jackpot. It was not as good as their other ones. At least one time they were mildly unlucky with that. It's so difficult to justify. And then you want to play Citadel on top of that, right? No, not you, but... It's like really desperately needs a tri-land to fix everything, basically. 27 lands, I still have 2 lands. What the? Fast lands are good. Yes, indeed. There's no green-black fast land or... Is there a Simic fast land? I mean, you wouldn't necessarily... Like, fast lands aren't that good in this deck. Because you want, like... It's kind of tough, because after turn 3, you really want untapped mana, too. Not standard deck. So you don't even have the option, which is awesome. Yeah. I would maybe play, like, 2 Simic fast lands if there were. Any. The standard is just a bad... I think standard is just conceptually bad with the way they're releasing sets. Or their cycle philosophy, like their approach to cycles is horrendous. I don't know. It's just... Funny because I had that revelation recently that we don't have a single low power format. And that's what I really enjoy in the game, so unfortunate. Like, I just realized that when Shudzy mentioned that Pauper's not even on Arena and that we just generally don't have a low power format. And I never actually thought about that as to why I'm not as interested in the game anymore. It's just the power level's way too high. You have no agency over any outcome of the game, basically. I mean, you do, but it's way less than you would in a low power format. Okay. Non-creature. I'm sure I have a non-creature. I'm sure I have a non-creature in my graveyard, right? Today has been really something, huh? Maybe I've been making too many negative videos again. I'm getting punished. I mean, low power format doesn't necessarily have to be cheap. It's just there's no way to play. Like there's drafts, but draft is not constructed. There's no low power constructed format where the games are like more back and forth, where your decisions on whether or not to cast a spell actually do matter because you're gonna go further into the game, and you might need that spell later. Picking your spots more instead of like proactive deck. Play 2-drop that's broken. Play 3-drop that's broken. Play 4-drop that's broken. See what happens. Oh wait, I could have just. I needed that land though. Like it's not like it's not like I can actually do that. That should be standard, exactly. I think that's why I enjoyed the game a lot initially. Actually, that's not even true. Standard was never low power level. Actually, that's never been. I don't know. Has standard ever been low power level? I think there were periods of time where that was the case, but overall, even the sets, the metagames that I did enjoy were pretty high power level, but it felt like there was more agency in those formats. So I don't know. Hard to say. Either way, there were formats where there were a lot of back and forth. All right, here we go. Am I gonna get punished by the card that shall not be named that I made a video on? Hmm. Lovely. They get a 4/4 as well. Cool. The lowest power level top deck in standard in the past few years was like rogues without Luris. That can't be true, right? Surely? If that is true, that's degenerate. I can't believe that. But I don't have like the ref in my head. I can't really picture what format was the weakest or what format had the weakest decks. I thought it was like Esper Hero or something. There were formats where there was lower power level than that. There's no way. Like Esper Hero, I think was pretty low power level in a way. I actually don't know. I think in the context of that meta it was pretty high power level, but not sure. Yeah, Rogues was busted. Oh, Esper Hero had 3 fairy. No, before that. Before 3 fairy came out. I remember a metagame where there was only 5 fairy and hero, and they were playing the 2/3 flying. They were playing the 2/3, the 2/3 that drew a card and gained life, flying. And that card is pretty low power level, right? Surely, in the grand scheme of things. Rogues a lot of tempo. I guess that's true. I don't really use power level in that way, but I don't know. I don't think that's true because when your cards have a bunch of synergy with each other and they're high tempo, I think that is power, right? Power is like equivalent to good, I would assume, right? Because you wouldn't say that a deck that is just like ramping into 9 drops that has nothing else is a powerful deck, right? Surely not. I think powerful is like in the context of the metagame. Oh wait, whoops. I'm a little bit distracted, but whatever. Doesn't matter, right? What am I playing against? Yeah, that 2/3 flyer. I remember that, and the fact that's how I judge power level was like the fact that that card was playable should mean that that deck's power level was pretty low. That's the only thing that comes to mind when someone mentions like low power level. That's like the only thing that jumps out to me. And even that deck had like 5 mana to fairy, stuff like that. What am I? I don't know how to sideboard against this. This seems weird. This card sucks, first of all. This seems like kind of okay. Probably not. I'll just play this. I don't think I need to sideboard much. Wedding announcement? This is not going to work out for me. Probably. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Would Team Wreck be viable in today's meta? Probably no. No, definitely not. Definitely not. No. Oh yeah, Bailiff. Yeah, I didn't. I'm not that focused. You're right. I could play Bailiff against this. True. It's just like I don't like this card doesn't even register as a card for me in a deck because I've never seen anybody play this. I think I did at some point, but like, when's the last time you've seen a virus beetle? Yeah, it's actually, well, I don't think it's a power level thing that Team Rex not viable. It's mostly a metagame problem where every color has enchantment interaction basically, and they all have counter magic. So yeah, it's just unfortunate, but I think in a different metagame, maybe with less blue, it would be fine. But kind of hard to say. I mean, there was still Shark. Nah, just like Raffine. Nah, yeah, you're right. The power level has gone up. 100%. 100%. Cards like Rafine would have been terrifying at the time. Power is not synergy. I mean, I disagree with that, but we just use the word differently. I think power is always relative to how good a deck is. I think most people use it the way I use it, but I kind of understand where you're coming from. I don't know what I'm playing against, but somehow it's destroying me, so... But it doesn't help that I drew 3 Takenuma. So that's fun. That's fantastic. And also, this deck really wants more Restless Reef. I think I need to rework the mana again. But it's impossible. No, you can't. This mana base is doomed, I think. Because you really want Restless Reef. It's like the best manland for this deck. But you can't play that many copies of it. Because it's just not in the colors correctly. Like, it's just not good enough. Wait, what is this mana base? What is this abomination? This might be worse than Sultai, man. It's an Esper. What the heck? Yeah, Epiphany was good. Jeez. Yeah, it's just a definition thing. It's not... We don't disagree fundamentally, but... I mean, we don't disagree on, like, the idea... Wait, no. Yeah, we don't disagree on the idea, we disagree on the term being used. So, like, I would describe it differently.
There's no
Wild. I... What am I playing against? What in the absolute... Semantics, yeah. Is it Slog? I mean, I have 0 card. I have 0 lands in the graveyard. Probably this.
serious counterintelligence.
I really want to play this. I think I will. Don't mind me. I'm so used to picking what you sacrifice. You know, when you play a legendary. Oh wait, no, that doesn't even work. When you play a legendary, I don't know. For some reason, I'm like, ah, whatever. And I could have. No, okay, wait. Actually, I'm gonna. I'm gonna lose the game. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm definitely getting tilted.
Something suspicious is going on. You won't be outsmarting me.
I'm getting triggered. Somebody save me. I don't know why I assumed I had to choose the one I wanted to sacrifice. What am I thinking about where that's the case? What have I been playing with recently that would make me want to choose the one I sacrifice? There's got to be something. I don't know what it is. Something in my autopilot defaulted towards choosing what I want to sacrifice. It's something that I think I got wrong initially. It's a card that has a wording that makes you think that it should be the other way around. I don't remember what it is though.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
I'm gonna find it. I don't know what it is, but there's a card recently where initially I did it wrong too. I can't respond to that? No, I can't. Ashiok? Oh, it is Ashiok. Yep, you're right. You got it. It is Ashiok. But I don't know why that would be relevant towards sacrificing something though.
Ah, one of your
Wait, is
friends
Ashiok you choose the one you want to exile? Is that where it correlates? I don't remember. I think it's you choose the one you want to exile, and that might be why I want it. I don't know how exactly that lines up, but I'm pretty sure that that has to be it. There's nothing else in Magic, right? Where you choose when you play something or when you activate something, you choose the one you don't want. Surely, it might be something else, but that is so weird. My brain just deep. I don't know. Whatever. Let's move on. It's fine. Just curious about the mechanics.
Off you go.
Lily ults. Oh yeah, Lily ult when you're against it, but that's not relevant as well. I don't think that was what it was. It's something like to do with like one or two things. Anyways, but Lily ult is definitely. I think Lily ult is you pick the one you want to sacrifice too, right? Instead of keep, which is who's designing these? Like it makes no sense. It's not intuitive. Don't forget to click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell if you want to keep up with my content. And if you want other ways to support me, you can always join the YouTube membership program for my channel, or you can join my Patreon where I have a bunch of video guides. Anyways, I appreciate all the support, and I'll see you all in the next video.